So welcome back, everyone. I got a newbie with me, and he's a little nervous. Okay, so we're going to have a lot of fun here right now. And I want to say hi to everybody on Facebook again. I have with me Chris Friend, and he's the owner and principal consultant of Friendly Strategies. Welcome to the show. I got to ask you, first off, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
So I started Friendly Strategies about a year ago just to kind of do what I'd been doing in the corporate environment for over a decade, which is helping businesses turn scattered work into much cleaner execution. So really what that means is business processes, operations cleanup, your tools, your systems. So really what I'm offering is less friction, fewer dropped balls, and just a general better execution.
So one of the things that you wanted to do was a giveaway today, and it was called a Business Systems Snapshot. What is that?
So really a snapshot is just going to be, we take a look at your systems, we think about them for a few minutes, I ask you some questions. Generally what I'd like to think of it as, let's say I gave you free money to hire somebody for a year, and what's the first thing that you'd have them do? That usually gives me a good path to what you're looking for.
Okay, so what is usually the first thing that people are looking for?
Well, it's repetitive tasks, it's things that could be automated, it's missed opportunities, but usually once we have a little conversation, you can pretty easily put your finger on it.
So you are statewide, you do free consultations, they're 20-minute consultations. You can check him out at friendlystrategies.com. And we've got our lines open here for everyone right now, so we're going to do that throughout the rest of the show. And you're getting entered into win here. It's a business systems snapshot for your business. So again, 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. So what kind of businesses do you help?
I help all kinds of businesses, really service-based businesses, realtors, trades, service businesses, professional services, and really small teams that are just getting ready to scale. Because I find that when you start to do that scaling work, there's oftentimes things that you miss. Those are where those opportunities fall through the cracks.
So you talk about helping businesses clean up their operations. What does that actually mean in plain English?
So think of it this way. Let's say your floor starts to flood. What's the first thing you're going to do? Are you going to go buy a bunch of tools, or are you going to try to figure out where the leak is? That's kind of what I help people do, is find out where the leak is. We can put some quick fixes together. Sometimes it's a bigger project, and sometimes we find that there's bigger problems underneath, and we can scale those out.
So you can check him out on his website, which is friendlystrategies.com. His phone number is 602-529-5980. He works statewide, and he does free 20-minute consultations. You could go and call here, get entered into win. It's a business systems snapshot. And we've got our lines open up for everyone to get entered into win at 602-277-5369. So let's see, what are some of the signs that a business has outgrown its current systems or processes?
I find that the owner tends to become the operating system. So if you're acting like a search bar, if people are using you as your Google, then that means that your system or that your processes might not be documented. There's some systems that need some automation. You really want to eliminate some of that tribal knowledge. So if there's a bunch of people that do things differently and nothing is written down, you lack consistency, and I think that's where things start to fall apart for people.
When you work with a business, I'm going to ask you a question that's not on here.
Sure.
That's going to trip you a little bit, okay, just so that you can relax. You have to go in and find out a little bit about that business, right? So do you do like where you go into the business and come in and kind of look around? How do you do that?
Usually it starts with a conversation, and as we have that conversation, I tend to ask some questions that I've been asking throughout my entire career in corporate revenue operations. You know, show me your lead flow, tell me why you're doing this, and oftentimes it just takes a different set of eyes. And I guess the thing that I find that really helps me is that those things tend to jump out to me quite a bit.
Yeah.
And again, you know, if you've been doing something and the answer to your question is, well, we've just been doing this way this whole time, that's usually a sign that it's time to take a look.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of business owners have a lot of tools like the CRMs and spreadsheets, calendars, and project management software. Where do things usually go wrong?
I kind of think of it as a gym membership. So these CRMs and all these tools that you have, they tend to act like a gym membership, but it doesn't lift the weights for you. You have to configure it, you have to know what you're doing, you have to understand the outcome, and then draw it backwards. The systems help you get there, they don't tell you what to do.
Well, one of the things I'm going to ask you about, because I want to understand it, because before you came on here, we had somebody here that was talking to you, and you said that you said it, that you could make his phone ring more, right?
We can, and oftentimes what that is not necessarily getting more leads out of your already existing marketing. Sometimes it's following up with existing leads. Sometimes it's referral based. Sometimes it's something that's already sitting in your systems, or leads that might be warm that just need a little bit of follow up. We can certainly look at what your website presence looks like. We can look at SEO. I think those are low-hanging fruit, though. Oftentimes those answers are a little bit more clear.
Mm-hmm. So again, he works statewide. He does free 20-minute consultations, and we've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered in to win. It's a business systems snapshot, and our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. You want to check him out on his website. It is friendlystrategies.com, and it's 602-529-5980. Again, I want to go back to the kind of businesses, because it's almost any kind of business, correct?
A lot of small businesses, anybody that's really looking to scale. So I think based on what I've done in my career, I've had a lot of different exposure to a lot of different industries, different verticals, software as a service, shipping and logistics, trades, construction, all kinds of businesses like that. And there's always core problems. I would say some of those core problems are things like follow-ups, lead management, making sure that you know what's expected. I think that's a big thing that people fall apart on is when you don't know what you're expecting out of a customer, the next step, you're always guessing, and that takes up too much time.
So what makes your approach different from the marketing agencies and web designers and software consultants?
So being operator-led, I get to spend time, not necessarily, I actually think our last guest had mentioned it quite clearly. I'm not here to pad my pocketbook with time. I'm here to look at your actual execution. I don't have to follow all the rules of an agency. It's just you and I getting to know each other, and me understanding your business and me helping you from there.
Yeah, and that's all everybody wants. First of all, they want more business by their phones ringing off the hook, right? I think what you said it kind of best is that people have all of these systems, a lot of them have it. They may not even know how to use it. They might even have a pot of gold sitting there, right? And they don't even know that it exists there, right?
Exactly. Like take a realtor, for example. You have a CRM, maybe you're paying $12,000 a year for it. If that leads to one single closing, then it pays for itself. But if you're not using it, it's just costing you money.
Well, that's with anything,
yeah,
right?
Sure.
But honestly, you want to generate business, and that's what you get all these things for. But if you don't know how to use it, or if you don't know what to look for, I think is what you had said, right?
Exactly. I mean, and also what happens after somebody raises their hand. There's the follow-up, there's the keeping things warm, keeping things top of mind. I think that's an important thing that people kind of forget about after people start to come through the front door.
Absolutely. We've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered in to win. It's a business systems snapshot. Starts with that. Let him come in and kind of check things out and so he can show you where he can help you.
Exactly. We'll take a look at it together. We'll have a conversation. It's not just me coming in telling you how to run your business. I'm going to ask you a lot of questions, and we're going to get to know each other. That's really where this business shines.
So our number here is 602-277-5369. Check him out on his website. It's friendlystrategies.com. Real quickly, because we're almost done, can you give, wait, let me see, I'm up here. I did that one. So can you give an example of a process of workflow you might help a business improve?
Okay, let's say somebody comes in, a lead comes in, and it doesn't get followed up for 3 or 4 days. I can make those kind of things automatic. I can either notify you if you want to put a personal touch on it, but just really simple things like that. It's things like for a realtor, for example. You have 2 buckets, the time you spend selling, and the time you spend not selling. I help you fill up one and decrease the other.
That's a perfect way to do that. I think the best thing for everybody to do is check him out on his website, which is friendlystrategies handoffs.com. He works statewide. He does free 20-minute consultations. He's also offering for everyone to get entered in to win. It's Business Systems with an S snapshot, and our number here is 602-277-5369. What are your final words?
Well, I'd love to hear from you. That's the approach here. I need to get to know you, and we need to become friends. So it's a friendly strategy.
Well, call in here and get entered in to win a Business Systems snapshot. And our number here is 602-277-5369. And toll free is 1-866-536-1100. He'd like to get to know you. It's a friendly way of doing it. And so you can check him out on his website, which is friendlystrategies.com. You can also call him at 602-529-5980.
Thanks, Carol.